people want to see a rematch. If that is the case, then I will do everything in my power to oblige.
I think Chris won it. To be honest, with the sheer effort that Conor put in, you know, it should have been like a majority, maybe a couple of rounds. You know what I mean? I didn't have it so wide. But look, the right man won.
Tyson Fury didn't hold back. He called Conor Benn brave, but brutally exposed his flaws, declaring Chris Eubank Jr. the undisputed ruler of the ring. Any talk of a close fight? Pure fantasy, Fury scoffed. To him, Benn's heart meant nothing when faced with an opponent who was outclassing, outgunning, and outboxing him at every turn, and Fury's warning was clear. A rematch wouldn't...
I said to Conor, you know, when I said about, you look at 147, and he just looked at me and he said, do you think that fight was a war? Or do you see a rematch? And I just feel...
be redemption. It could be a career-ending disaster. Eubank Jr., Fury said, is simply on an elite level above. Now it's official. Eddie Hearn has confirmed the rematch, and Conor Benn is seething. The moment it was announced, Benn snapped, vowing not just to fight, but to destroy. Hearn praised Eubank's serene dominance in the first bout, yet tried to explain Benn's failure by blaming ring rust. But that excuse? It's dead. This time, Benn is out for blood, but will it be redemption or ruin? Meanwhile, Sky Sports' Adam Smith didn't sugarcoat it. He called the rematch a personal war, soaked in pride and legacy. Eubank Jr.'s comeback wasn't just impressive, it was a savage warning. To the entire division, he's still here, he's still elite, and he's still dangerous. Benn, on the other hand, clings to the belief his loss was a fluke. But it's not belief, it's obsession.
If that is the case, then I will do everything in my power to oblige.
He's boiling over. If fans want the rematch, Smith said, I'll do everything to deliver it. But even he admits, this isn't just round 2. It's a reckoning. Chris Eubank Jr. isn't just open to the rematch. He's salivating for it. Like a predator stalking wounded prey, he craves an even more violent encore. The first fight, domination. The second, annihilation. There will be no mercy, no restraint, only humiliation. Served cold and...
Eubank, because if I don't do Eubank next, that ship sailed. So it has to be Eubank next. If it's not Eubank, then, you know, then that...
televised nationwide. Eubank doesn't want points. He wants destruction. Across the ring, Conor Benn is drowning in his need for revenge. He's not requesting a rematch. He's screaming for it. This is do or die, because if the rematch doesn't happen, his redemption arc dies with it. But here's the cruel truth. No fire, no fury, no training camp can erase the brutal beating he already took. He talks like a man preparing for war. But the reality, Eubank already broken, physically, mentally, and publicly.
I'm back, he'll be a better fighter. You know, we've got a lot to go back. Well, not a lot to go back, just to be able to take his time.
A second fight won't be a comeback. It'll be an execution. Enter Nigel Benn, furious, defiant, and unwilling to accept reality. After watching his son fall to Eubank's dominance, Nigel erupted in rage. To him, Eubank's victory wasn't earned, it was luck, opportunism. A vulture circling a cold, inactive Conor. Nigel called the first fight a trap, a setup to humiliate his son. Now he wants vengeance. He's demanding the rematch, swearing a sharpened, raging Conor will want dismantle. Eubank, piece by piece.
Well, I already knew what he could do, so it wasn't impressed, wasn't about it. But I knew what he could do, and I'm happy he done it. He was listening, and he did exactly what I thought he'd do, and I'm happy.
His chilling warning. The real fight hasn't even started. And when it does, he says, Eubank Jr. may not escape with his soul intact. But not everyone's bitter. Trainer Jonathan Banks gave credit where it was due. He called Eubank Jr.'s performance a tactical masterclass. A lesson in patience, control, and clinical destruction. While the world expected early fireworks, Eubank had a different plan. He didn't brawl, and Chi dissected. Conor Benn's wild swings only exposed his desperation. Meanwhile, Eubank stood calm, calculated, and absolutely ruthless. Now, the rematch looms. Not just a second fight, but a final chapter. Pride, legacy, vengeance. Only one will...
Still a baby in the sport, we've still got learning to do. And I think thank you, Eubank Jr. We've got to be able to bigger than it was last time. I just don't
leave with his name intact, and the other, shattered. Jonathan Banks, Eubank Jr.'s trainer, shut down every critic who questioned his fighter's ability to handle pressure, endure the brutal weight cut, or survive Conor Benn's supposed punching power. Eubank didn't just survive, he dominated. His clinical, disciplined performance silenced every doubter in the room. Now, one question echoes across the division. After witnessing that kind of surgical destruction, who really has the nerve to step into the ring with Chris Eubank Jr. next? Joe Gallagher didn't hold back.
He's got a concussive punch out since he's been at 154. He's up against a big middleweight, right? That's number one. Conor Benn was too desperate trying to knock out a guy. He was loading up too much, but he fought his heart out. And all the credit in the world should be given to Conor Benn. Chris Eubank Jr., all the credit in the world should be given to him, because we was looking at this like, oh, well, can he do the weight? What's going to happen now? He's going to get knocked out, all the rest of it. And I mean, I had a real strong feeling.
In his assessment of Conor Benn's chances, he called Benn a baby in the sport and insisted he's nowhere near ready for someone of Eubank's caliber. The difference, Gallagher said, isn't shrinking, it's growing. While Eubank continues to polish his craft and fight with confidence, Benn is still learning how to swim in deep waters. Gallagher warned that a rematch wouldn't close the gap, it would expose it even more. Spencer Farron echoed the sentiment with a scathing breakdown, dismantling the media's attempt to frame the fight as close or competitive. He made it clear, Benn is not a knockout artist, especially not at 154 pounds.
Obviously, they gave so much in that fight, and maybe not for the purists because it was a street fight, but to the mainstream audience, it was a fight that crossed over.
Taking on a full-sized middleweight like Eubank was never going to end well. Farron criticised Benn for loading up on wild, desperate swings, hoping for a miracle that never came. While he acknowledged Benn's heart, he emphasized that grit, experience, and composure are what set Eubank apart, and Benn simply didn't bring those weapons. The weight cut narrative, dead. Eubank didn't look drained, he looked dominant. Gareth A. Davies painted the rawest picture of all. To him, this wasn't just a fight, it was a war, one that separated a true warrior from a reckless brawler. Even with a gruesome eye cut, Eubank stood tall, like a machine. He didn't flinch. He didn't fold. He embraced the chaos.
Conor Benn can fight anybody from 147 to 154 to 160. Conor Benn can fight who he wants. Both of them can almost handpick who they want to fight.
And thrived inside it. Meanwhile, Benn looked lost. His flailing had no direction, no strategy. He was overwhelmed, exposed, drowned by the occasion, and swallowed by the moment. This wasn't a chess match. It was a battlefield. And Eubank was the ruthless general. Benn, just a battered soldier still looking for a plan. Davies made it clear. Eubank didn't just fight. He imposed. He endured. He conquered. Spencer Oliver added to the chorus of praise, highlighting Eubank's mental toughness and composure under pressure. When the lights were brightest, when everything was on the line, Eubank delivered a war, and Benn got burned alive beneath it. Sam Jones went even further. He called out Benn's delusions, tearing apart his bold claim that he's ready to fight anyone from 147 to 160. Jones didn't mince words. Benn is still...
The fight really showed us last night that a good big one beats a good little one. They're good, they're not great. So Eubank wins the fight. Where he goes from here in terms of world level, I don't know, because I don't want to pour cold water on.
Paddling in shallow water, nowhere near ready for the sharks. He accused Benn of hiding behind soft opponents in hand-picked fights, masking flaws instead of fixing them. Meanwhile, Eubank is cut from a different cloth, battle-tested, hardened by real wars, and mentally unshakable. According to Jones, Benn can scream about weight classes all he wants, but after getting schooled by Eubank, his credibility is shattered. This isn't about size, it's about class. Eubank has already carved his name into boxing history. Benn is still chasing headlines. When pressure hits, Eubank rises. Benn cracks. Duke McKenzie stripped the hype bare with his ruthless analysis. He called Eubank's performance a showcase of raw power, surgical accuracy, and fearless aggression. Benn, he said, was utterly overwhelmed. Every weakness exposed. And a rematch? It's not just a bad idea, McKenzie warned. It's madness. Eubank's ring IQ, physicality, and relentless pressure are a nightmare Benn can't solve. McKenzie doesn't believe a second fight would even be close. It could be worse than the first. From the opening bell, the levels were obvious. And nothing has changed. This isn't about redemption anymore. It's about survival. And McKenzie doubts Benn survives another Eubank storm. So the question remains, will Conor Benn rise from the ashes? Or has this rivalry already been buried? Let us know what you think in the comments. And if you're enjoying these no-holds-barred boxing breakdowns, like and subscribe for more brutal fight analysis.